minute without strenuous exercise.
Love is not a strenuous exercise.
It is an empty pocket.
A bursting earth, you were a lilting flag in the valley, tempted by fates of brass to be the chest first, clean-eyed vision of the setting sun, unable to speak without each word ringing.
You are fading into a ghost in the smoke of all this breaking crap.
Don't panic, forget the luggage. It will be too much to carry.
Break the locks.
Ignore the anxiety.
It's a trap.
Grab the grenades in her vocal cords. Hurdle over her tears towards the exit.
Leave the sandcastles behind her eyes, the ice sculpture in her lungs, the pendulum on her tongue, the medallion in her hips has lost its sway.
Crack! The curtains have caught fire. There is smoke.
Stop. I pick worms from the mud of the new town, the blind tubes flexing against me. Even creatures who cannot see you want to get away. It's not that I lie. I could appear to you in any dress and say, this is my story, meaning this is what a man has done to a woman. I want you to pity me a moment before we commit the act that will take a little of my soul. I'm from a nation of shifters. I can pass through beds and languages. I can lie with anyone and tell what it is like for him.
Bites will not be tooth and nail. They will be inside joke between high five and knee slap as soon as summer camp extended beyond day trip and styrofoam lunch tray. Counselors spoke to me in raggedy patchwork of street slang and condescension humor. Taught my skin to feel black in mixed company. To feel black in mixed company is to suspect sidewinder inside innuendo as soon as you identify the laughter of a rattlesnake's tail. Do not run, do not cry. Thin skin will only get you eaten alive in these streets where we still do not know what happened to little Tasha. Still do not know who killed Rasta Mike Steele.
Nation is a cage. I want to die a classic.
Heroes acting like politicians. No, politicians acting like action heroes neither. No, Jesse the body slamming governor. No, bedtime for Bonzo dealing arms. No, Terminator in Sacramento hitting switches and Kentucky frying Tukis the all-American way. Too foreign. The outside world is not American enough. We need a more user-friendly Cuba.
By the Huelga General. Each citizen's important in the Huelga General. Pasting stickers to their bodies for the Huelga General. Cerrado por, paro por, the Huelga General. The parade is now filling the Huelga General. Laughing, honking, looking, singing, the Huelga General. Moving up Calle Alcalá, the Huelga General. A big roar moves up the crowd, the Huelga General. Someone is dumping water on, the Huelga General. Contra paros y precariedad, the Huelga General.
There is no community here. People are like ghosts, crying like cornets and bugle horns from the Louis Armstrong wing of the hospital. The park has George Washington in an upright horse at one end and Lincoln is at the other. And yet in all this patina and devotion, this memory and commotion, and this world invisible.
You won't! This poetry slam is war!
No, it's not! This is a tragedy of sound. You've got your first world problems. Here's some first world solutions. Throw some fucking cash at it. Throw a fucking steak at it. Donate your hair to Locks of Love.
We're making saints.
Self-impressed corpses.
Feel much better about yourself.
The world is burning everywhere but where you are sitting.
There's a shovel in the corner.
We ask you to dig.
Mind the pipes of yourself.
Find some gratitude.
Some of that amazing grace.
And cease with the song.
He's so stoic. Thinks he's a poet. Snickety snap, look at that, he's a class act, well educated, he's overrated. Heard a lady call him adorable, that's just horrible. His writing is deplorable, too much comedy in his poetry. He got jokes, what a dope, his rhymes and lines be simple and wiggity whack like row, row, row your boat. Gazing at nothing there, I can smell his fear, it's clear he's scared. Stick a fork in him, he's done his...
Economic. Cultivating the fine art of pressed for time dawdling, twirling red tape around one's pinky, daydreaming of brackish water and the moment before myth makes a home in yours. Did someone give you a cloak that infested the others? Or have they lined your drawers for years? Poised to flutter about, dentists and banks and life savings, a conversion of saving half-lives, this financial purgatory so oddly American. teeth gleaming from these stiff uppers, to wake up with the smell of enamel burning, the grinding of whose toil ensures these incisors.
Her possessions, books, records, the landscapes she painted from photographs of Armenian landscapes. I plucked her, a kitschy figurine, and abhorrent and curious, like ceramic colored boy jockeys planted on suburban lawns. A caricature, golden hue, bravely mourning my tiny living room as desecrated homeland.
My unabashedly hairy legs, whose sharp-no-bedi twitch like a chorus for a fatal Sharon Stone, delight in ces mouvements qui déplacent les lignes, in the motion, the quiver, the more, the catch.
Winding iron staircase inside a water tower, late 19th century architecture. Abandoned 50 years ago, it remains a point of reference to all heading south.
It's springtime, and I'm with my honey, the woman I love. And as we go along, there is a farm. And the duck goes, and the horse goes, and the dog goes, and the chicken goes, and
Tori meets Harold Bloom's weak poet, meets every pop singer who needs to use pitch correction software, meets Lewis Hine, meets Sasquatch. The in-between time conjured by tech support poetry denigrates author functions and reader functions alike, acknowledging in the meantime that our state is not unlike that of fleshy automatons moving other people's content around until such time as a more equitable relationship between technology-related labor and our collective awareness of bodies can be achieved. Tech support poetry produces no poems, no authors, no readers, and especially no criticism or manifestos. Join us in this exciting new poetics.
On a page, language is an almanac. My alphabet is a crew of dolphins. Verdict of slanted Joshua trees in transmission, inocular mistrust of neighbor, from the bellies of which spark sharp green fragments and cadaverous songs. My alphabet is a tank of definitions. Foliating like apricot leaves, it haunts the hinting of its crescents, the spaces that ellipse themselves, to ceiling of planetarium, to the nebulous of memory, brazened photographs, tapestry. My grandfather taught me how to swim with onions on his tongue.
In brittle slacks with fertile cuffs and tunics eased in beige. There's none underneath the model rope and twist the speckled twine. Not for nothing sweet and sour, dried with tempered tinsel. Not for every nutmeg tin you find on terraced fjords. There's none on a needle kit and knit some fishy hose. Not a single major-rated Manx mask, nor slim, salacious squire with a gift for swift persuasion.
Our noses to touch, we teach her to see. I worry what stories might be left our daughter, gears that shift and stutter, and where she'll look to understand them. Books, like Marcella's, provide a compass. Here there was a skyscraper, there a street light. Here we made love or a wall. Our daughter will inherit second-hand economies.
A sudden flood. You couldn't wait, could you? It had been unexpected for a while. It was what she saw while bathing in a tub filled with buckets of water she had brought down the hallway from the multi-stalled bathroom. She bathed in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows, a view of the river bend and all the highways. She
appearing, a sullen army of light appearing, an arm appears ricocheting.
Fireflies weren't catchy enough. I wanted to compose something like Dancing with Mr. D, or Dance All Night, Play All Day, or All She Wants to Do Is Dance. But all I could come up with was The Dance of the Fireflies, a ballet number for insects.
Smiled sheepishly at the singer formerly known as Dorothy. It might be time to go to jail soon, I said to the lady in black. Dead Johnny crooned from the courtyard. One woman wore a lacy white doily for a shirt. She was nice anyway, so I cleaved to her.
Says yes, one says no. Tragedy strikes that little go-getter. Don't know better. Couldn't find her way out of a soup can. Couldn't make it here, nobody can. But seriously, take my husband. Take my wife. I'll find another just as nice. We have measured our success. It is measured. We have done it. Wait for it. Twice. To run down. Let's all get naked and lie down, I told them. You know, you can't say things like that in the classroom. It's a very literal place. Maybe that's why we broke up. I didn't have the right messaging plan. I don't like to be walked on. You didn't appreciate having a
work. Had you turning pink like Kirby when you heard me speak my spoken word. This ain't no dream world or fantasy land. This is reality, man. Hot dead. Even though I don't curse, I swear I will make you tut-tut tremble. About to take you a cute higher. Cue the treble. I spit poems off the dome, I flow 'em like Rome, making dynasties rise and fall with each guttural monine tone syllables like a dictaphone, make your head tick-tock like a
ceiling fan light fixture tried to break free from the ceiling, but its feverish and frantic whirling was in vain. Disappointed, it stays like Robert Balser. Who is the Robert Balser who is American? Isn't there one? Maybe, not really.
Vouchers make it okay to stay quiet. While social programs are the first to go, the hood can't confront the politics they don't understand. Quiet is kept. Our strength comes from a place the seeds of our ancestors' accusers will never understand. Word power. I'm dropping pieces of freedom every time I part my lips. Partnered with something more divine. I am poetically designed to free.
Want a loop, contemplation loop. Discrepancy, don't clench around the way it looked with my hands when I touched it. Apprehending body of lost nipple pleasure, listment, X-light, apprehending through pores in the I-beam, careening off a quantity of a various to be born.
Makes you greater than anyone who has one. Being anonymous is the new famous. No one can compete. No one knows what you do to your face in the glow of your own private moonlight. This is your forest. Someday the trees will become books filled with your philosophy. If the trees become books, will there be anyone left to read them? Will all those books make you greater than someone with only one book? Someone like Thomas James who died before he can write the next
Buster and cupcakes. I like wigs, and I don't like lead. Sometimes I think about maths. I'm a boy, young, and not sure if I'm happy or sad. That brings me to the thing I like. Wigs. It's deceiving. I like wigs and thongs. And it would be great if you wanted to try on some outfits for me. Not necessary.
Fed, my best is constipation. Packed so full of aggression, sardines would be complaining. Becoming an abomination, my abdomen filled with confusion and disillusion. Cause the main ingredient was missing. You left me. And now abandonment's what fills my skin. Boo-hoo? Boo-hoo? Forget that. I ain't Casper, and this ain't a sad love story that ends in happily ever after. My clock is broke, stuck at 9/11. I guess you could say my life's a disaster.
Ready to refract. A porcupine of light pinwheeling off each ring, one on every finger. The sun knows to reach her this way. Through curtains that don't close properly, she sits by the largest window with a calm that spreads like fever. The same chair loves her every day. In the quiet of a house, she is becoming immovable.
In this life by simply passing by.
If I could see the world as earth, as a blue-green orb of life, half bright and half balanced against that light, revolving always with the intentions of time and its dimensions, without humans or their purposes.
We'll go far. Now go and build your start. I know it's hard, but it's time now to build that arc. So fight the peer pressure. Don't let our lives stress you. Look forward to the future. That's finding forever the truth.
I do. That's very practical of you.
Thank you. I tried to be useful.
Eloise, I miss you and me.
I'm made of real leather.
In one part of the house at a time. I'm gonna have to do this in shifts.
It's my
Sky is satin, the October leaves are bronze, the farmhouse windows are glazed in crystal. Nothing goes on that is not money. The supper hum from the houses, it is about money. The hero moving past the dirt roads to the tennis courts, he is about money. All the automobiles are beeping with it. The palm in which the hand is a blue flower, the words are a screen, it is about money. Let's find out what is the great success and move on. It is not being born in American or the shape of the wind on white curtains. It is not money, old friends, or the sun. It is not the history of ideas. The great success is not he married her and they ate lobster.
And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave, and I'd fight for the right to be free. I didn't ask to come here, I was kidnapped. Tied down to the bottom of a slave ship, transported like cattle. I didn't ask to come here, feel as slaves last forever. Ask Grandmother Ellen the Bumpers, ask Philip Pennell, ask Rodney King.